begin today's episode, just a reminder that you can show us your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel, like and leave your comments below. Also, follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok and Twitter at Seeitsayit_4, Facebook and Spotify at Seeitsayit. For today's topic, we'll be discussing friendship.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Not bad.
Oh God, this is a good topic.
Yeah, very good.
Friendship.
Yeah, so what do you think about
friends?
friends?
Friendship. Okay. It's a really weird one considering my own life. But anyway, we'll go into the topic, straight away. Friendship. To be able to achieve a successful and long-lasting friendship. This sounds serious.
Yeah, that's fine.
But you need four C's.
Okay.
Chemistry.
Okay.
Compatibility.
Okay.
Compatibility.
Yeah, you got your compatibility,
Yeah. What's the other one? Communication.
Okay.
And the last one, character.
Okay.
And I think to be able to, if you have that four, the chance that you have a successful relationship, and that 4 C's. That's just my own theory, by the way. It's not anything that I've seen somewhere. But I just think, sometimes when you just reflect on your life, I just feel like this is the package
you're looking for.
Yeah, like in a relationship can be friendship, marital relationship, that sort of thing. But I feel like with that 4, because if you're missing one, the likelihood of the relationship going downhill is high.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. In my life or with my experience with friendship so far, I feel like, and this is always, it's always happened in my life to date, is that I tend to go for friends with similar chemistry.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to having friends that we have similar chemistry and we're compatible.
Okay.
When I say compatible, similar morals, values. If you know me, and I'm sure you can agree with this, a parents only, you think I'm the yo-yo girl. I'm out there.
No. With me, no. With me, I didn't have that perception of that.
Okay. So I'll think she's out there. But when you now get to know me, then you now realize that my outlook of life is different. So I attract certain people that we have like similar interests, and that's where chemistry comes. We kind of like flow, we like similar things, would activities wise, we'll get along, banter, we'll get along, and that's why I said chemistry. However, in terms of compatibility, maybe our morals are different. Because I'm very into this world is temporary. This world is, whereas some people forget that, which is fine, or my outlook of life, I'm this like, what's for me is for me. Yeah. You have a beautiful car, you have a beautiful house. I can admire that, but doesn't mean I can have that.
Yes.
I'm very big on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So that's that too. Then we have character and communication. Honestly, I feel like when it comes to communication, you can agree with this.
I was gonna say that.
And I feel like everyone in my life, parents, family, child, anyone can agree to my communication is the worst. It is the worst. Like when it comes to, so I think with that 4, people are adhere to have a long-lasting relationship. However, if it's missing more than 2, relationship will clash easily. And I think that's where I fall into communication really bad. Working on it. I don't think I ever think I will sort it out. I don't know what it is. People think I do it intentionally, but I actually don't. I hate phones. And over the years, I've just realized that my attitude on the phone or texting wise, if I text you feel like we have issues.
Oh, okay.
Like people say I text really abruptly.
Oh, okay.
That I text like a stranger, like that sort of thing. But when we see each other, our vibe is different. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so in general, that's affected me, communication and just compatible. We don't have similar morals, so likelihood of our relationship just goes separately. But that's my definition. That's my definition of how to achieve a long-lasting relationship. How about yours?
Yeah, I think your points were valid actually. And but however, I have a very different perspective to this. And because this topic is quite intimate,
Mm.
do you understand?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I want to relate it to myself.
Yourself, of course.
So friendship. For me, I know so many people. However, I can't call everyone my friend.
Okay, labeling.
And I think I also did mention this to you previously as well. I know so many people, but I do not attach the word friendship.
Yeah.
Do you understand? With everyone. Because with me, I'm very selective.
Mm.
What I look out for is as long as you have the basic human decency towards me and towards other people. So I look out for the way you treat people when others are not looking, when people who know you are not there. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Do you understand? So that for me is major. And then I would then streamline it again to religion.
Okay.
Do you understand? We don't necessarily need to be of the same religion, but however, I would prefer to be friends with someone who knows
a person
God.
of faith.
Do you understand?
Okay.
A person of faith.
Really?
So that's what I look out for, because I'm a Muslim. You're a Muslim as well. I believe that if I'm friends with someone who has faith in God, you don't necessarily need to be a Muslim, but at least have faith in God. Do you understand? Have some spirituality within you. Do you understand? As compared to believing that God does not exist at all. Do you understand? Because I believe that our ideology would then be different.
Okay.
So I tend to look out for basic human decency, and then how you treat people when others are not looking. Those two factors for me, and having faith in God, is absolutely okay. Because I feel that communication, you can work on it. Because yes, communication, you can work on it. And I say this because number one, you meet someone today at let's say for example, a networking event. You do not know the person, but you take your time to know the person. The communication is not just going to happen immediately. Do you understand? You take your time to know people, maybe what they like, what they dislike, what they're all about, what they're into. And then from there, you can gradually grow, and then communication will grow as well. Compatibility, for me, even that point is actually valid, but for me, I would say it's not valid, because you need to understand that, like I said, I think I said this in the previous episode, when two people meet, right, it depends on your intention towards the other person. That would then make you, hold on a second, that would then make you try to make that relationship work, be it is friendship, be it is marriage, because I believe that things don't just work out. It has to be two people. You
have to be intentional about it.
It has to be two people making that relationship work. So the question is, what are you looking out for? What do you want from that relationship? And what do I want from that relationship? So in this aspect, is friendship. What are you looking for in my friendship with you? What am I in search of in my friendship with you? So for me, compatibility is not really a big factor. Although you have to be somewhat compatible with each other. Do you understand? You have to be somewhat compatible. But I just think that compatibility, you can still work on it. Do you understand? No, you can't.
Have it.
No.
It's just that one thing that you can't force.
Of course, I do agree. You can't force compatibility, but along the line, you can work on it, because you can grow. Do you understand? You can grow, and experience can occur now. It's not all the time that two people meet and then they become friends magically. For example, okay, I'll use it as an example now. So, for example, I remember when I started, when I go on a new road, there was this lady there. I always say hello, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, because you know what? I was sort of like still, when you're trying to check people out, like what is she on about? Do you understand? And I'm sure she was trying to do the same thing as well.
Okay.
But along the line, we grew because we worked together. Do you understand? After working together, I then tend to understand that, okay, this person has this ideology. This person, because if someone does not open their mouths to talk, you wouldn't know if they are compatible. Compatibility is not the looks. Just hold on a second. Compatibility is not looks. Compatibility has to do with ideology. Does this person think like me?
Of course,
does this understand? What does this person think about this? If someone does not open their mouth to talk, you wouldn't know.
I think you got me wrong. I said being compatible is what makes a friendship last longer.
Okay.
That's my point.
Okay.
You can have chemistry. That's what chemistry. Okay, I'll just break it down. Chemistry is like similar interest, or you see someone like this lady, for example, you like her, or you just feel like you guys can gel, or you have similar things. Do you understand that kind of thing? That's chemistry. Anyone can develop chemistry. I'll see you on the road. Trust me, I will have a full-blown conversation with you. And you think, this girl knows this person. That's me. But doesn't mean we're compatible to grow that friendship even longer. I'm not talking about friendship for a year. We all have friends that we've made, or not you. You know, you're different. With me. That's why I made friends for 2 months. And we're not friends anymore. But that's because we're not compatible. But we had similar chemistry, like we had similar banter. We probably like the same thing. We're like into the same lifestyle. So we grew. However, when you and someone, or you and a girl, for example, or you and whoever you're friends with are compatible, and you don't have similar interests, that friendship is likely to remain, because we all grow differently. But when you have that similar outlook of life, that will keep you going.
Now, hold on a second. When you said that relationship, that friendship is likely to remain, are you saying
like keep going?
Keep going.
Yeah, you will still have that friendship, because I have people in my life that, due to choices in life, we don't have similar interests anymore. Like they found something different, but because we've always had that outlook of life, the way we see life, it's very similar. She has new friends now. I've got my path, but we still are in contact.
But
if
are you
anything,
still friends?
We are still friends. If anything, I'll just say, "Oh, video call. Can you imagine the situation?" That sort of thing.
Yeah.
We might not be as close as we were before because she doesn't go out. I go out more.
Okay.
The interest is. Do you understand that kind of thing?
I was actually. Do you understand
what I'm trying to say?
I understand.
But because our outlook of life remains the same, for that friendship to break up, maybe that person just has a bad character. Because character is another word to consider.
Character. That's why I said. Character is the same. Is similar to what I said. But it's just that I said it in a different way.
Okay.
As long as you have the basic human decency.
Of course, yeah.
So it's
because people are
similar.
bad.
Yeah, it's similar to character.
Some people are mean. Sorry, they are mean. It feels like it's coming from a bad place.
Oh my goodness.
Some people are mean.
Oh my goodness.
Like they are. I don't know if you've experienced toxic relationships, but some people are mean.
Okay. You know, with me, and I know a lot of people. My family, my circle, they know this about me. When it comes to friends, I'm very selective. I wouldn't put that labeling on everyone. I know so many people again, but not everyone is my friend. Because I believe that for me to be friends with you, I have to somewhat be able to be vulnerable around you.
Oh yeah, we had this conversation.
I did. Yeah, I had somewhat, not me opening up my personal life, and do you understand? But so I should be at least be able to show that vulnerable side of me to you, and you should also be able to do the same, because if I'm able to show my vulnerability around you, then if I need your support, I would be able to come to you and be like, okay, you know, real case, I need your advice, I need your support.
What do you think? Okay.
But if there are some people, they are friends, however, they can't even open up to that person to seek advice from them. And I'm like, this is why, for me personally, I stay away from calling everyone my friend.
You know what?
I would rather say, this person is my work colleague. This person is someone I admire.
This person is my...
this person, me and this person were previously classmates. You understand? This person I go to the gym with, or this person I go to church with, or this person I go to mosque with. Do you understand? I'd rather say that rather than me using, because I feel like
Friends,
with me, I have two best friends.
Mhm.
Their head will be swelling by the time they watch this anyway. I have two best friends, and one of them is not the same fit as me.
Okay.
However, our friendship has lasted over 10 years now. Over 10
Mhm,
years now.
mhm.
And this is because the basic human decency that everyone needs to have,
Mhm.
she has it. The
Okay.
basic human decency that everyone needs to have, I have it. Do you
Mhm.
understand?
Mhm.
So this gives room for respect.
Okay.
Do you understand where I'm
I
coming?
do,
This
I
gives
do.
room for respect. We are able to respect each other's view.
Yeah.
However, my friend knows that if they do anything wrong, I'm very vocal about it.
Oh, so when
I'll
it comes to
I
communication, that's something that I struggle with.
I am very vocal about
I
it.
struggle with
No,
that.
I don't shy away from
Uncomfortable,
the uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
I would be like,
or difficult conversations.
you understand? I would be like, not you, but I don't want to call your name. But I'll be like, oh, I don't like this that I
That's
saw.
really
You
good.
understand? You understand? I think you need to do this. But that does not mean that that person will take that advice from me. But I would speak out my own truth, respecting our friendship.
Can I ask
I'm
something?
sorry, hold on. Whatever it is that you want to take out of it, it's your choice. And I'll respect you. So let's say I have a friend. Let's say I have a friend that drinks to stupor. Do you understand? Maybe that's just the flaw that person has. I don't have any friend that drinks to stupor. I'm not saying that. Do you understand? Because you raise your eyebrow and I'm like, hold on a second, just to clarify, I do not have any friend that I do not have any friend that drinks to stupor. But I'm just saying, let's say I have a friend that drinks to stupor. So let's assume that person, character-wise, amazing, but that's just that one person's flaw. So I personally would take it upon myself and be like, you know what, John, could you please walk? You're wondering where did John come from? And I'll be like, could you please walk on this habit of yours?
Okay.
Do you understand? Rather than shying away from it, because I know some people will shy away from it to preserve the friendship. But with me, this is why I actually said, if I cannot be vulnerable around you, I can't use the word friend because I just feel like there's no need. I would rather see you as someone as I know, and then I'll be able to say, you know what, let me mind my business. But if I'm saying you're my friend, mate, I have to be able to correct you. You understand? Exactly. I have to be able to correct you. I have to be able to call you out when you're doing something wrong. And you should be able to do the same thing with me as well.
So what about in regards to the relationship? If someone does something that you're not happy about, will you call them?
Yes, of course, I will.
You know what? That's one thing I struggle with. I think I have this conversation with other people in my life.
Okay.
Situations that if you do something for me, I wouldn't tell you.
Okay.
Literally what I do is I cancel you off my life. No question, nothing, delete, block. So I had this conversation, trust me, I know I'm guilty of this. Really bad. I don't know if it's bad. You know what, to be honest, that's just me. I maintain my
But at least you're
health.
aware. At least you're aware, that's you.
So this person that we had the conversation, we had a back and forth in regards to it. Yeah, you should be able to have a difficult conversation with your ex-wife friend if they do something like you are not happy with, as opposed to cutting them off.
Yeah, of course.
I totally disagree with that because I feel like if you're my friend, you're an adult, you should have that conscience to know what is right and what is wrong. Because the moment I call you, and I would say maybe the people that I attract, that people that I have similar chemistry with, if I call you and say, mate, I heard that you've been talking about me behind my back. Is our relation deep down, is that person's relationship and is it going to grow? Or that person will start having, do you get what I'm trying to say? So I don't want to have that situation of,
okay, because
I'm bullying you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's slightly different.
I understand you, but sorry to interrupt you. But my question is, hearsay, if someone, because I appreciate the fact that that's just you're speaking your truth, do you understand? And this is just me as well, and I'm speaking my
Of
truth.
course, we all have different ways. We're supposed to learn from each other, isn't it?
I believe that if it's a hearsay,
I mean, sometimes,
if it's a hearsay and deep within you, you know it's truth. Fine, fair enough. You might not want to.
What would you do in that situation?
You might not want to seek validation from that person to confirm that yes, the hearsay is legit. However, for me, this is why this is why I said it again. I'm saying it again, rather. This is why I'm saying it again. If I'm using the word friends with you, I believe that whatever the situation that arises in that friendship,
we should be able to
communicate it and sort it out. That does not mean that we're going to have boundaries. Do you understand? I have my boundaries. You're going to have your boundaries.
See, I think that's what I struggle with.
Yeah, we're going to have boundaries.
You've actually said that to me once. I don't have boundaries because the moment you're in my life, everything, I'm an open book. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
there's nothing to swallow because I feel like you're in my life.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why it's easy for me to cancel people or cut out people or cut off people. Like, because I feel like the moment you're in my space, I don't need to hide anything from you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
but
what
the moment I hear, do you understand? The moment I hear you say one thing, I won't tell you that, Shikra, I heard you said, because chances is that, I never said that. Who's got time to do that?
But hold on a second. What about if truly I didn't say?
Oh, no, you did. Because for someone to say you did, you definitely did. That's the way I think.
Okay.
Because someone won't say, Bilkis said this. I've been in a situation.
Yeah, but some people can be very, very manipulative, and again, I'll say this.
I'll cancel you. The person that said it, I'll cancel both of them together.
Again, I'll say this. You see, this example, it all boils down to maturity, and I only say this.
I'm not matured.
No.
That one I'll cancel.
No. Age is not maturity. To be honest, age is not maturity. You can have a 16-year-old who is more matured compared to a 30-year-old. Age is not maturity. And you can have a 30-year-old who is more matured to a 50-year-old. And you can have a 50-year-old who is more matured to a 30-year-old. But what I'm trying to say is that with the 4 C's you gave, communication, I think it's best to actually call that person. You understand? It might be a very uncomfortable situation. Or perhaps, try and reflect on why that person would say whatever it is that they said. No, hold on a second. Try and reflect on why that person might say whatever it is that they said. Because you need to understand that this is how hatred is formed. This is how hatred is formed within friends. So if you have a friend and that person says one thing to the other person and then that person brings it back to you, it might be that the person that brings it back to you has a bad intention. Yes, it might be a situation. This has not happened to me before, but it might be a situation whereby the person that brought back the gist to you has a bad intention. And the likelihood that that person was the one that actually brought up that conversation that made that person say whatever it is that they had to say about you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It might be that that person who came back to you to feed you back was actually the one that brought up that conversation, and the other person who is your close friend said whatever it is that they had to say. So I think it's best to just speak with your friend and then ask, why did you say this? Why did you say that? Whatever you decide you want to use with the outcome of the explanation is left to you.
It's left to you.
Do you understand? It's left to you rather than quoting. Do you understand? Rather than quoting that person off.
You know, when it comes to certification of cutting people off, I'm not proud of, I do. But that's just to guide myself. It's just because I know the kind of person I am. Do you understand? You understand? I'm very open. You know, everything about me. Because I just feel like there's nothing to hide.
Yeah. That's just you.
That's just me as a person. I think that's why I find it easy. Not that I'm saying it's a good thing or it's something that is bad. It's what works for me. If that means I'll be alone, I'm fine. I was born alone. I'm going to die alone. So that's fine. I'm content with that. But I'm just really very, very big on loyalty.
Yeah.
Because
loyalty is very important.
if you're in my life, I hold you that. That's why we're in each other's life. If someone else is saying something, and I don't know if this is another topic, if someone says something about you, I have to tell them, this is what they said. I'll even tell you what I said in that conversation.
Yeah, and that's you being sincere.
Do you get what? Because I feel like I hold you with that loyalty as a friend. Does that make sense? However, if a situation happens that I can't tell you, that's another problem of mine again. Because I've been told not to tell you, I'll cut you off and I'll cut that person off.
Oh my goodness.
Because I feel like you're not letting me speak my mind.
Yeah.
Is that so?
You're being restricted,
and I hate that. And I think I've pointed that to you before.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing that people, when it comes to like loyalty is a big one, and I think it keeps relationships like don't talk behind people behind their back.
Yeah, and I also think in friendship it's very important that you establish boundaries, because if you establish boundaries, then you would be able to respect one another. You understand that, okay, Shukrat doesn't like this, I'm not gonna do this. Bilkis doesn't like this, I'm not gonna do that. There are some times whereby you overstep people's boundary, but again, it comes down to communication, ability to communicate. Oh, I don't like what you did, I don't like what you said. Do you understand? And then, because I feel like there's this adage that says when two friends remain friends for a very long time without the ups and downs, that simply implies that they are not actually telling each other the truth. You understand? They are withholding the truth from one another. So, for example, no. What I'm trying to say is that you might see your friend doing something wrong. You don't want to call her out because you respect the friendship. But to me, that's not respect.
Yeah.
That's you shying away from calling your friend's attention to something that is wrong. Again, if you have boundaries in relationship, friendship especially, I think the friendship will go a very, very long while. Yeah, it will grow a long while. And also, another thing again I wanted us to speak on is unhealthy competition in friendship. I have not experienced this.
What do you mean
unhealthy competition in friendship?
Like competing with your friends?
Yeah. I have not, me personally, and because my circle, because this does happen, because my own circle is very small. Do you understand? So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not in competition with anybody, and I'm very, very sure my friends are not in competition with me. But however, there are people out there that compare themselves with their friends, and whatever it is that their friend has, they want to have the same.
Really?
So, for example, it might be in terms of family, it might be in terms of relationship, it might be in terms of children, it might be in terms of education, it might be in terms of work, it might be in terms of finances.
There's nothing wanting to be like your friend, though.
No.
That's why you're friends.
That's why I said unhealthy competition.
But so if you want to have everything she has, then that's
what I'm saying. So, for example, let's assume that you're driving a BMW and I was driving a Range Rover, and immediately when I bought a Range Rover, you did the same thing. That's the first instance. I didn't say anything because it's your money. You can get whatever it is you want. Again, let's assume that I bought something else again, and then you did the same thing again. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And again, let's assume that I traveled to Dubai, and do you understand?
Not even to Turkey.
Do you understand?
Las Vegas.
Exactly.
And
do you understand? So it becomes. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It becomes a competition of. I think Yoruba people call it figagbaga.
Oh, but I've never heard that.
Yeah. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You're trying to be at the same equal level as your friend. There's nothing wrong in you, because as far as I'm concerned, Lexus or Range Rover was not made for one person.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And traveling to Dubai was not made for one person. Anyone can go. But it becomes a pattern whereby whatever that person does, you're doing exactly the same thing. Do you understand? And then the other person might not look at it as, you know what, I think this person is trying to compete with me.
So what would you do in that situation? Let's say you notice a person. I've never experienced it.
I haven't experienced this, but I've actually seen this happen in other people's
So like
life.
I said initially, like outlook of life, you can't have mine with yours.
Yeah,
I can't have yours. And I'm very
100%.
big on that. And I feel like for you to be, or the people in my life have similar mindset, like you're if you have whatever, if you buy a house now,
Mhm.
trust me, I'll be happy with you. I'll even be the
Mhm.
one to say, are we having a party?
Mhm.
Like, I'm happy for you because I'm a strong believer of I'm happy for others, Allah will do mine too.
Of
That's
course.
the way. So
Of
I'm
course.
not that I know that. And I don't think, like you said, I don't think I'm competing with anyone. I hope I'm not. Subconsciously, I'm not.
Yeah.
There's nothing to. I'm just on my own.
Yeah,
hustle.
within you, you know.
I'm
within
on.
you,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm on my own. Also, what I want is what I want. However, in that situation, if you notice a friend is doing that, would you call the person out?
Yeah.
Or would you cancel the person?
Not for me. I wouldn't cancel the person, and for me, I wouldn't call the person out.
So what would you
either.
do in that situation?
In that situation, because
I'm interested to
Yeah,
hear
yes,
this thing,
I
because
know,
hear people
because
do what you're about to say.
yeah, because again, this is my own view.
Be diplomatic about it. Is that what you're gonna say?
No. Hold on a second. This is my own view.
Uh-huh.
Do you understand? And I'm not implying this on every other person.
Yeah, of course.
I believe that people have patterns, and over the time, your intention of me will speak out for itself.
Maturity.
Do you understand? Your intention of me will speak out for itself. I'm not gonna call you out, and I'm not gonna even address that situation. But I know that if your intention towards me is not pure, and my intention towards you is pure, over the time, your intention will speak out for itself. I don't know if what I'm saying makes
No,
sense.
I need you to elaborate.
Okay, so for
Intention.
example, we've already established that there is the competition.
Yeah.
However, I do not want to address the
So will
situation.
you carry on being friends with
No.
that person?
No, hold on a second.
Okay.
I do not want to address the situation, and I do not want to ask you questions which is addressing the situation. Basically, I don't want to address the situation.
Okay.
However, what I would do is I will keep on watching. I will keep on being friends with you. But however, your intentions of me, you would subconsciously show it to me on a platter of gold.
So why wait?
No, because you're going to prove yourself to me. I'm not going to say anything. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You're going to prove yourself, because I believe that character, no matter how long you hide it,
Oh yeah.
one
That
day,
real you
you will
do.
spill out the real you. You give it to me on a platter of gold. I'm not going to go in search of it. That's just me.
So
That's
that's a different
that's
way
that-
to
that-
see it.
that's
Like,
just
that's
me.
maturity.
that's not maturity.
Oh,
Don't
no,
make it
because
look
that's
like
the way. That's not obviously like with me. Like,
it
you
is,
know,
to be honest, somewhat. There's a little bit of maturity in it.
Because something like that, I think I'll just say, I'm scared of that person.
No,
That's
I'm
it.
not going to white one, because I believe that you need to understand that there must be a reason.
But you should.
There must be a reason. You understand? You need to understand that the way you treat people or whichever actions you're exhibiting, there must be a reason for it. I don't know the reason why that person is doing everything I'm doing. It might not be from a space of unhealthy competition. It might just be a way of that person trying to make themselves happy. So that's why I said, hold on a second, that's why I said that person, true color, would show on a platter of gold. Because your intention, I don't know what your intentions of me are.
It could just be I like what you're doing.
Exactly. Or it could exactly. It could just be you saw the car and then you're like, oh, this car looks good on Shukrat. I'm gonna get the same. Do you understand? And me, I might be perceiving it as unhealthy. I might be perceiving it as you're competing with me. But within you, you're like, you know what? Oh, my friend has this car. It looks good on her. I'm gonna get the same. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So your interpretation of things is different from my own interpretation. However, be it what you're doing is of good intention, be it is of bad intention, you will definitely exhibit your true character. You will show it to me on a platter of gold.
Crazy.
Yeah, you will.
Oh no, it's nice having this conversation because obviously you just realize the way people deal with stuff.
You will show it on a platter
and of course,
gold.
like you know, if that was me, you're done. Like what we competing, like just okay, you can go and meet someone else to compete with, just I'll just do my own thing.
And I also think that people that compete against, there could be healthy competition, but unhealthy competition. Healthy competition could be, let's say for example, you got a promotion at work. Do you understand? And then you tell me, oh, Shukrat, I got a promotion at work. We're friends, do you understand? And I'm like, you know what, my friend has got a promotion, let me strive as well. Yes, let me strive towards getting. Let me put in the advert for myself as well to get a promotion in my own work as well. Do you understand? So you wouldn't see that as something negative because you yourself will want your friend to have a promotion at work. Do you understand? So that's fine. However, unhealthy competition spirals from every single thing you have. I want to have the same. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So every single thing you have, I want to have the same. It then becomes unhealthy competition, and then you start to question. And then you start to question. What are this person's intention towards me?
Yeah, the intentions really matter anyway. It does. Even Odin, this is like off topic. This is just off because I feel like I have nothing to. I don't have anyone that competes with. I
don't have anyone that competes with. But however, there are people. I'm telling you, there are people that go through. There are people that go through this. There are people that go through this experiences, and they might have been friends for a very, very long time. And when things like this happen, it leads to the end of the relationship.
Because it can be a bit like, there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, I like your car. What do you think? Should I get it? But if you're just doing it behind my back and you're getting all the things, then that's a big question mark. But even Odin, I'm just talking about, friendship. I'm learning here because I feel like you're more matured.
No, I'm not.
More matured in regards to this.
Don't say
this aspect of life.
I'm not more matured. No, the thing is,
the way you see.
It's just that. Again, like I said, I grew up in a family whereby you go to school, you come back home. Perhaps I go to my mom's store and support her.
Okay, yeah.
I go to madrasa, I go back home. We were not really allowed to socialize too much. Okay. My parents were strict, and it turned out to be something positive in my life. Okay, do you understand? So from the onset, I've always had a very small circle. In fact, one of my best friends, I've been best friend with her for over 13 years as well. So I have a very small circle. I know so many people.
Yeah, of course.
Do you understand? And I've always self-identified as, you know what, I know this person. I like this person. However, this person is not my friend. This is just someone that I know. Do you understand? Or this is just someone I go to mocks with. Or this is just someone I work with.
Yeah.
I personally have always done that from a very, very young age. Do you understand? So that's where it all stems from. But however, if you're making friends with someone, you should look out for certain qualities. And I think the 4 C's you've mentioned there are actually good qualities for an individual to look out for in another individual.
Make our friends from a distance.
Okay, I think one of my friends says that as well.
To me, people would say, because when I'm with you as a friend, I'm in it, in it. I love you. I would fight other people because of you. I'm that sort of person, and I also expect that back. But if I don't get that back, then I just don't see the point.
Yeah.
People say I put too much expectation on people.
No, it's not even putting too much. No. It's not.
I know what I'm putting into this relationship.
It's not expectation.
I'm intentional.
No.
Yes, my communication might be bad, but they're also saying things. We all have our flaws. Communication, not really proud of. People will say, I have a work colleague that will say, you just say hi and you disappear. I'm very transparent. That's all. So
and I think being transparent is something everyone should actually appreciate. I'm just speaking. This is the way I. That's the way I view things. Because I think I'd rather have a friend who is transparent, and that transparency they can use it with me, as compared to having a friend who's not transparent. Because I believe that you will be able to call me out on my BS. Do you understand? You will be able to go if you're a transparent person. You'll be able to call my attention. I'm like, Shukrat. Do you understand?
I would
X,
not
Y,
give you
Z.
advice. That,
Do you
that's
understand?
the
X,
thing,
Y, Z. You wouldn't feel the
Yeah.
things. You would say things the way they are. I would appreciate that, but
So,
for someone
yeah.
else, they
So
might
I've
not
been
be
advised
appreciated.
have a friend from a distance because you expect what you give. You have a good heart.
And I think every
And
friend.
it's just, I feel like it should be, that's the whole point of being a friend, isn't
Yeah,
it? Like,
of
if
course.
I'm choosing you as my
friend.
buddy, like, yeah, you're my ride or die, you should have my back as much as I have your
Yes,
back.
of course.
I shouldn't be wary of you.
Yeah.
And I read something while doing my research in regards to this, like the moment you feel uncomfortable
Around.
or
Yeah.
the moment you spend time with that person and you're feeling drained.
Yeah.
I've been in a relationship that I would see that person's name on my phone. I'm like, oh. And that's someone I called
Your
a friend. So things like that, you just have to reevaluate. Like, is that a friend?
That's why I said it's better not to put a label on everyone.
But I understand now, as at last year, a friend had to tell me, not everyone's your friend.
Not everyone is your friend.
And
They're
because with me, with my intention, I go into meeting someone now. I'm like, yeah, we're buddy, we click, you know, we have similar interests, we're going out, we're like, oh yeah, we're talking here and there. But as life goes on, then you now feel like, oh, there's nothing to offer, then we're going out together.
Yeah, I was actually gonna touch base on that.
Do you understand?
Go on,
There's nothing we're offering each other then.
Yeah.
Go out together, Snapchat together, talk about how we're going to spend the money that I'm working, you know, put in my pocket together. So it's just like, don't call everyone a friend. And you mentioned that as well, just observe the person.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm working on, as opposed to, I'll meet you, I feel like we're ride or die.
Yeah.
First day, I'm like, we're ride or die.
Nah.
Then I feel like from ride or die,
It
I
then-
now work to enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to be enemy to ride or die.
Yeah, exactly. And also another thing I wanted to say is, I think this is very common to women, and I think this is very common to women. I think our viewers is going to agree with me as well. With us, right? What we do is we have party friends. Yes, we have party friends. We have friends you can call on when you're really in need of help.
Yeah, you
have friends that you can discuss certain issues with as compared to your other friends. And this is my own thing. That's why, again, I always say this. I do not use the word friends with everyone. Because I have just very small circle. And this small circle, I can be vulnerable around them.
You can go out.
I can do everything.
together with
Do you understand?
them,
I can do everything together with them. But I've actually seen this trend in some girls, actually. They have friends solely for the purpose of party. They have friends solely for the purpose of
a lot
club.
of them aunties do that.
They have friends. They have friends solely for the purpose of, let's say maybe I'm trying
There's
to.
nothing wrong.
No. Sorry. There's a lot of things wrong in that. Sorry.
Wait, I'm going to say.
Hold on a second. Why would you say, okay, this person is my friend, but all you do with this person is you go out together?
Okay, not exactly go out.
Do you understand? All you do,
you guys have similar interests.
No. Hold on.
I said earlier.
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt you again. Sorry. Hold on a second. You're calling someone your friend.
Yeah.
And all you do is, there's a party happening in XYZ. Are you gonna go? And that's it. Then you wait for another circle, another month. There's a party happening in this place, and then do you want to go? That's all you do with that person.
That wasn't
I think they call them fun bay.
No, that wasn't my argument.
Fun bay.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Fun bay. So this person, you only go out with the person. I don't think you should associate the word friend with that person.
No, that wasn't what I meant. I mean, like, it's okay to have different circle of friends.
Yeah.
That was my conversation. That was where my conversation was heading to. Like, I have some friends that I've met since secondary school. Obviously, I met them back in Manchester. We're still friends. That's a different circle because we had that relationship. Like, we're OGs. Do you understand? Like, I have friends that we meet in London. I met in London and we're still friends. Do you understand? There's certain people that I've met going to mosque back in the
Yeah,
days.
of course.
And we're
And I met you from mosque.
yeah, so like different circle. Do you understand that kind? There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I think
I miss but I don't have fun
you're
days.
mixing.
I should be able to go out.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
so,
you
but
exactly.
there are some people that I can only have certain conversations with.
Yeah,
Does that make
No,
sense?
you're misinterpreting me. You're getting what I'm saying, but I think you're misinterpreting
Yeah,
me.
because
What I'm saying is, for example, my best friend,
Mhm.
one of my best friend, she's a outgoing person.
Mhm.
She's a social person. I'm not really a social person.
yeah,
However,
she has friends.
she has friends as well. So in this case, let's assume she wants to go to party. She knows automatically that
You'd say no.
the likelihood of me saying no is high.
Okay.
However, she's still going to invite me, and I'll respectfully say no. She would then go out with her other friends. That's absolutely fine. But what I'm saying is, those other friends she's going out with, she's still able to
Have a
seek advice
conversation.
with. She's still able to seek advice from them, just like she would seek advice from me. But whereas to some people, all they do is they just party with that person, and that's all. And then if they need advice, do you understand?
They go to someone
They'll
totally
go to
different.
someone totally different. So what I'm trying to say is that why don't you have a circle whereby I understand that you should have diversity.
You don't
You
really
should-
have
no, you
to,
should
but
have-
it's whatever
do you
works
understand?
for
You should
isn't it?
you should have different people. Do you understand?
Some people don't actually like. Sorry, that I'm
That's
just going.
fine.
Number one, because while you were talking, a conversation came into my head. Your friend, for example, invites you out all the time.
No, she doesn't invite
No,
me
let's
out.
say she invites you
Okay,
out all the time, and you say no.
She knows I'm gonna say no anyway. She's my best
It's really
friend.
good
She's
that
one
you
of my
guys are
best friends.
friends.
Yeah.
Because you know some friendship nowadays, because they invite you out. Maybe this is me
All
talking
the
from
time.
experience, and I say no. Do you know that actually affects some relationship?
Yeah, over time. That's why I said it depends on the foundation of the relationship itself.
That's what I mean.
If all you saw in that
Being
person, hold on, no,
chemistry.
hold on. If all you saw in that person is this person would be my fun bae, do you understand?
You have
If-
similar chemistry to enjoy parties together.
what I'm trying to say is that
Mhm.
if all you saw in that person from day one is I'm going to be going to party with
Yeah.
this person, the relationship is going to collapse.
Okay.
But if you're seeing
Okay.
beyond, okay, this person is not really a social person.
Mhm.
Once in a while, she would go out with me if I want her to go out with me. But I am able to seek support from her also.
Okay,
when
you
needed.
also offer
Do you
something
understand?
else.
There's other things to offer. You don't have to tick every
the
single
boxes,
box.
okay,
Do you understand?
okay,
You don't have to tick every single box. There should be other things you're able to offer. I'm unable to offer every Friday night out. I've got kids. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I'm unable to offer that to anyone.
Okay.
Anyone. Do you understand? Anyone, I'm unable to offer that. I've got children. Do you understand? So if all you're coming to me for is Shukrat, let's go to party on a Friday, or there's this Owambe, let's go there next week. Of course, do you understand?
Yeah,
If that's all you if that's
what you
all
bring to the
if that's
table.
all you want from me, of course the relationship will
Okay.
break. But the moment I then tell you that I'm not going to a party, within you will feel offended. Because that's all you saw in me. That's what I'm saying. Because that's all you want from me, and I'm unable to offer that. So of course that relationship is going to going to collapse at some point. And I think this relates more to women compared to men.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know about men, but for women, I think with women, in all our friends, we seek out that social factor as well.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And another
That's
thing
really
I wanted us to touch base on was peer pressure. Have you ever been in any situation whereby you feel like you've been pressurized to do certain things?
No, I think because I've got a strong mind. However, I'm leaning more to people pleaser as opposed to peer pressure.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Peer pressure and people pleaser, there's similarities. I think so.
You know, like this one, I'm not doing it because I want to fit in. I'm just doing certain things because I don't want to hurt you.
Okay.
I think I'm more that person. That's one thing that it was on my don'ts of this year. Like
Okay.
strongly work on that this year. Learn how to say no.
Okay, you have boundaries
Yeah, like I tend to please, even though if it's not comfortable for
for
me.
you.
If it's like if that means I have to spend money to make that person happy, I would do that. So I can say that. But in regards to peer pressure, mate, you can't pressure me to do anything. Only if I want to, like in
Only if
terms
you
of
want
like
to.
I'm talking here like monetary, or like if that's where we're going, is that the
No,
conversation or
any
like
aspect,
because
actually.
you've just bought a bag, I have to buy a bag to keep up with you. No, I can't do that. I need to be in check with what goes in my account and come out. That one, you can't pressure me. If you're saying because of that, or I'm always inviting you out, you never come in, because of that, I don't think this relationship can work. That's fine. But if, let's say, oh, you need me to look after your children, it's not comfortable for me, but because I can't say no, or because I don't want to say no because of that could break our friendship, that's what I mean by I will please you.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, but
I'm more into that. I lean more into that kind of thing. Like if something's not comfortable, but for friendship, I'll do it. Even though I know deep down it's not. I'll do that. But in terms of peer pressure, like you can't ask me to go with a guy because you like no. I think I'm very
strong.
Yeah, I'm very strong-willed when it comes to like, because I know I work for my thing. I can't. Yeah.
I think, with me, I always say this: no one can pressurize me into doing things I don't want to do, because I believe that as an adult, I can make decisions by myself,
Of course.
and my decisions, I can have a positive outcome from it, or I can also have a negative outcome from it. So the outcome, I'm going to deal with it. The consequences, I'll deal with it myself. So I don't think anybody can pressurize me into doing anything. However, just to you mentioned something in regards to pleasing your friends because of the relationship. So, for example, if someone says, "Oh, help me do this," and you don't want to say no, you would go out of your way, even when it's uncomfortable for you.
And that's because they do that for me.
They do that.
Do you understand that?
I was gonna. That
like,
was
I feel
what
like
I was going to
sometimes
say.
I'm the sort of person that friends do help.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. I might say I counsel people a lot, but I think there's certain things I can say that Allah blesses me with. Like anyone that I've been my friend before or that are still my friend, they are always there.
Yeah.
Like
that was what I was actually.
So it's just like I might not communicate well with you, but like when it comes to like paying back, and I feel like that I have to please you. I don't have to, because they're doing it from the willness of their heart.
Yeah.
Not because that they're demanding something from me, but because sometimes I have to say yes, and it's not comfortable for me based on my circumstances, but I just feel like I have to please you because of that relationship. Because sometimes you might do it constantly. You're doing something for me, I'm not doing it back. One day someone will say, every day you're always giving that girl something. You're always doing it. She never does anything for you.
Yeah.
Something that you never thought of.
Yeah,
but someone else has put that into your mind. You understand that kind of thing. So that's where I said I'm more leaning into that. That was
what I was actually going to ask you, because when you said you would go out of your way to please people, so I wanted to ask you, do you think these people will do the same for you?
Oh no, they do.
Or perhaps you just do it regardless of if they will do the same or not.
Oh no, because I think when it comes to help, like that's one thing. I'm sometimes I'm just like, when you say like, okay, these people, even if we fall apart. Yeah, that's one thing that I'm just like, because you guys have these people actually were there. You have actually built a solid foundation. Yeah. So maybe that's just down to me as a person, but I know that we might have TikTok tabs, we might have like different things that makes us like go in separate paths. But when it comes to like, I need your help, they're usually like above and beyond, and it does. People pleaser, I would say. No, but then again, I don't know if it is people pleasing, because I don't have to do it back.
For me, I would say this: I don't please people.
But in that situation,
it's good. What you're doing is good. But for me, for me, I don't think it's even. I don't think, maybe you're associating the wrong words with it. It's not you. It's not you. No. It's not you. No, it's not you pleasing them. It's you being you. That's you. If someone seeks out for help from you, if it's within your capacity, you would do it.
Even if it's not. I think that's why I use that term.
Because
even if it's not.
when you say even if it's not convenient for you,
yeah,
you need to understand that. Okay, let me.
I think that's why I use that word.
Let me give this example. So, for example, I'm looking inwards, and I think that's why I want to say this. So, me personally, if you ask me for help, and it's within my capacity, although it's not convenient for me, I wouldn't consider it as me wanting to please you. I would consider it from a place of having good morals. That's the way I would look at it. And it's actually good that you actually touch based on this, because at least your friends know who you are, they understand,
They do,
and they do appreciate
I know what
you.
I feel like.
And me personally, I'm not gonna lie to you, I appreciate you for your transparency. It might not work for someone else, but with me, it does work for me.
It does. And I feel like the people that remain in my life are those people that they will tell you.
Yeah, and I do respect that as well.
I like that about you. The fact that you just see everything as it is. That's it. And it is what it is.
Because I think.
Because the moment I have to start taking my words, you're losing me. I can't be myself. So it's just like,
if you can't be, that's the word
if
we're
I
looking for.
can't be myself, I'm out.
That's the word we're looking for. If you
Yeah.
can't be yourself around people, then what's the need for the relationship?
What's the need? Yeah.
You have to pretend to be that person you are not, isn't it? You have to pretend to be that person.
Topic.
Yeah, you have to pretend to be someone you're not, and
it's not worth it for friends.
And in that journey, you then begin to lose your own identity. I think that would be good.
To show us your support, please follow us on our social media platform: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at Seeitsayit_pod, Facebook, Spotify, Seeitsayit, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Seeitsayitpodcast. Please do like, subscribe, and comment below. Thank you.
Until then, see it.
We say
Thank you.